All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we have Ryan Ekadal, who is the owner of Ekadal Concrete. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jim?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Good.
And we like to jump right in. So if you could start with telling us a little bit more about yourself and what you like to do for fun, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah. My name is Ryan Ekadal. I am the owner of Ekadal Concrete, which is a concrete contractor out in Southern California. We specialize in foundations for custom homes, um, in and around Orange County predominantly, but then we'll go up in LA down to San Diego. But the main common denominator is that the projects are all typically uh, very complicated, large. A lot of them for very affluent individuals, people, politicians, pro athletes, entertainers, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
owners of big Fortune 500 companies. So it's some pretty wild designs and stuff that we're blessed to be able to work on. So been doing that my whole life, past almost 30 years. Been in business 46, almost well pushing 50 actually now. And I'm a second generation contractor. My father started the business. I've been working in the trade ever since I can remember as a young kid.
Mhm.
That's all I know. It's concrete. It's been great. So, but on the flip side, on the personal side, very much into health and fitness. Very much played a little bit of JC football, and just always been very in tune to strength training, conditioning. I'm a pretty avid paddler, so I did a lot of racing and things like that. But um, yeah, I mean, for fun, that's it. Just living a healthy lifestyle,
Yeah, it said
and I'm
fitness
blessed to
and
have three.
business. That's my life.
That's it. That's it. I got three amazing kids, and with all that, they keep me plenty busy.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. All right, what's it like being the owner of a eight-figure contracting company? Like, what does your day-to-day look
Um,
like? How do you scale that? How do you manage that? Like, take us through it.
well, I mean, you definitely have to let people do their job.
Hmm.
No one wants to be micromanaged. Um, I'm sure you don't. I know I don't. Most people don't. And as long as they have the clear message of, and they know what the expectations are, they should be allowed to do their job. You're going to get more out of them. They're going to have more autonomy and more freedom to do what they want to do. And obviously, they're going to make some bad decisions. You talk about it and work through it, and hopefully, it doesn't continue to happen. But I've found that once they're given that leash, they tend to kind of be more of a entrepreneur, not an entrepreneur. They take ownership of their position, their duties, and such, and you get more out of them. And then on the flip side of that coin is myself enables me to look, down on the business from a 30,000 square foot view overall, rather than just trying to stay in the lane of someone's job. Or I'm like, hey, that's not good for anyone if I'm trying to do someone's job.
Yeah,
I mean, the business is just turning its wheels, nothing's happening. So no potential growth or trying to grow or scale. And you're probably ruffling some feathers and not getting as much out of your employees. So I think the long answer to that question is autonomy. Let your people do their job, and hire and have good management to oversee, from me to them, the managers down and so forth. But the main thing is that it's always autonomy based, like every position. No one's micromanaged. Accountability, sure, but no micromanaging. I found that's just always ends up taking too many steps backwards. Doesn't work.
for sure.
Then you get to a point where they're just like, I'm done. I don't want to be here. Like, and you're gonna have a large turnover.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome, man. Was it intimidating when you started running the company and your dad passed?
It's a good question. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. It didn't. It wasn't supernatural. Mainly because I was filling some big shoes, essentially, and I just didn't know how that was being perceived. So was that was the perception, you know. Um, but just with anything over time, you start feeling more comfortable. And I should preface that with saying that even prior to that, I was still running like the day to day for 7 or 8 years. But then when it was official, like it just felt different. Like
Yeah,
it might be, are people looking at me differently? Are they scrutinizing? But I think a lot of that's just between the 6 inches between your ears. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just moving beyond that and just be yourself and just try not to let it get to you. It
yeah.
can be difficult, but time passes and you get used to it.
So talk to us about your mentality on work, because I feel like you could have just sold this business, exited with like $30 million in your pocket, and just went on a beach
Sure.
somewhere.
Um, that's a good question. I mean, I I don't know. I mean, just being in business for so long, we're kind of a staple in the community.
Hmm.
And if you look at it like this, there's push 100 employees that work for me, and I take it very serious to keep them busy, and they have families and bills, and you know, um, they rely on the company and the business that I'm able to generate and provide for their living and their lives. So once you start looking like that, like man, yeah, this is this company's not for sale. I mean, sure, everything's for sale essentially, but not looking to sell it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it just and then my last name's on it. So it really has a personal kind of attachment to me. So I take it very serious and kind of keep growing and making sure the business is here for another 30 years past me, whether that's, someone else running it, one of my kids or what, I don't know. But um, yeah, it's just been around for so long. I just, we have a pretty big foothold in the area, the community, and the people's lives that are affected from us being who we are. Yeah, I would hate to sell it and then whoever comes in runs it into the ground and it's gone, which happens. That does happen.
yeah, for sure. Curious, are most of your deals at this point coming from like the fact that you have such a good brand and you're well networked, or are you still doing a bunch of marketing for deal flow?
um and that's a good question. A little of both. The majority is repeat business, so people that we've obviously done work with, they know what they're going to get from our products. Also, people know who we are from the type of jobs we do. So maybe I haven't ever heard of them or worked with them. They know, oh, I just got this job. It's got this crazy foundation. I got to call Ryan Eckendall and have his company look at this thing. So that'll come up more word of mouth. But lately, I've been pushing more marketing, like more guerrilla marketing, and then also like digital, like platforms like Instagram, like trying to like push it out there more because it's become, as you are probably well aware, it's become pretty darn large for businesses to have a name out there because the like my industry, there's a big shortage in labor for especially for the younger workforce, the Generation Z's or whatever they call them, refer to
Yeah,
them as. They're not getting into the trades. They're going into what you're doing, software companies. They're not even thinking about swinging a hammer or anything, but there's a major opportunity there for young people to make a damn good living in the trade. So I'm trying to use social media to kind of push it out there more for recruiting than also because so many people are on it nowadays. I'm getting people that are like oh, hey, I saw you on Instagram. That crazy job you did. I have something down in San Diego, and I don't know who these people are. So that's kind of cool to see. And
Yeah.
it's kind of the way things are shifting.
Yeah, for sure. And so when you said guerrilla marketing, what does that look like outside of just social media stuff?
You know what? Just old school like gear. Just make sure that we have you name it, jackets, rain jackets, beanies, like
Yep.
Travis Matthews, like branded for our company name, and have all our guys in the field. They're always wearing them, and then our suppliers is giving them out. This stupid stuff like that, but it adds up, especially in the community that we're in. I hear it all the time. Guys, see your guys' name everywhere, which is what you want.
Yeah.
So I think as old school as that really sure is, it still works on a smaller level. But yeah, so that's what that is. I really trying to hit hard the social media.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I love it. Well, let's go ahead and hear a little bit more about your motivation. What really gets you up and keeps you going every day?
You know what? The fact that it was you basically the second you wake up, you hit the lottery. You
Mm.
woke up with the chance to make an impact and improve lives of those around you to do but one day better than you did the day prior. Um, because you're blessed to have an opportunity that many don't have. Many don't have that opportunity. And I say it all the time, like, what if someone told you today, like, you're not gonna make it home from work?
Mm.
Those thoughts, those people that go through your mind, that's that's what you should prioritize your time with. Those people, those thoughts, those goals, those ambitions, go after those and get those. And don't ever regret anything. So getting up every day and then knowing that people are counting on you. Like
Yeah.
literally on my alarm, on my phone, because I'm an early guy, I get up early. My alarm says people are counting on you. Like I put a little note in there under the alarm, and just as a reminder, like, okay, get up, come on, people are waiting. And so I'm always kind of like, I wake up kind of hitting the ground running, and it's all perspective in your mind because everyone gets burnt out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 25 years of anything's a lot at a high level, but just knowing in your mind, like, this is normal, I'm a human, take a step back. Maybe you just totally detach for a weekend, but just knowing, like, okay, it's just a feeling. Because the people that are super successful and those that are, they're not where they want to be, it's not much difference a lot of times. And what's difference? The difference is the people that are successful, they feel that burnout and they just lean into it.
Yeah.
They lean into it. I tell people all the time, like, yeah, there's so many ways to make money. They're all hard. None of them are easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to go where the grass is green. I'm like, no, the grass is greener where you water it.
Mm.
It's never greener, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my spin on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. What's interesting is, you know, definitely none of them are easy, but none of them are necessarily harder than what you're doing on the day to day right now anyway, except for,
Right.
I don't know, people who just aren't doing any work and maybe you're staring at a wall. It's a little harder than that, but like if you're doing like something that you trained for or a skill that you developed and you got hired for it, like business is very much like you got to have a better risk tolerance, I would say,
Sure.
for business. But it is a skill. Like marketing is a skill, sales is a skill, managing
It's a
people,
skill.
leadership, it's a skill that you can learn. So, you know,
True. That's very true. And I was always kind of obsessed with leadership, like
mhm,
the Navy SEALs. Jocko, when he was just starting his whole thing, I went to his very first echelon front conference down in San Diego
yeah,
and read his books. So I think you're right though. Like I'm really into self-improvement.
mhm,
I'm always trying to like learn more. Like, what's this guy doing? What's that guy doing? What worked for them? Different industries, but same thought patterns. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Definitely works for all industries. Like, what did they do? Like, oh, they did this in this situation. So yeah, it's all skills, and a lot of it's just you learn by failing, right?
100%. Yeah.
Learn by failing. So you just learn lessons and move on, like the School of Hard Knocks, and then couple with books and classes you can take, courses.
Yeah.
It all adds up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing that makes it really hard is like when you get caught up in other people's perception of your life and you're like, people are like, that's not normal, or that's especially hard. And then you start to internalize that. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, sales is really scary according to the rest of society, but we also do it in our everyday lives. Like we sell our spouses, we sell our kids, we sell
you're
so many
selling
people.
everything.
Yeah,
True. You're always selling.
yeah,
You're not maybe be a quote unquote salesperson, but you're selling. Yeah,
yeah,
I agree with that for sure.
absolutely. 100%. Well, awesome. We're going to jump into your dreams and goals now. Tell us about your vision for your company and your life.
Yeah, I mean, company wise, I could see getting to a point where we have an office in San Diego, an office in LA, busy but not like exploding, but still on the custom home side. And then I see a very strong presence of us in Orange County, getting more into the multifamily and commercial, like the bigger projects, because we've done a few over the years, and we set up really well with that. And so those are pretty good goals. And then personally, my kids are now at one in high school, two more. They'll be there in 3 to 6 years, and just kind of watching them flourish and grow. Um, that's kind of that's kind of what I'm looking forward to the most. And me just maintain my health, and a big one is maintaining my sense of being present, which is
Mhm.
for me it's challenging. I oftentimes am not as present as I should be, falling out or this or that, but I'm trying to really curb that. It's just easier said than done,
Yeah,
work in progress.
yeah, absolutely. Curious about that, having that strong presence in Orange County for multifamily and commercial. Do you build relationships with developers to get those deals, or do you do government deals? Like, how does that work?
Not government, but yeah, more developers, more the commercial contractor specific companies.
Mhm.
So I know which ones are the ones that are kind of doing the lion's share of those sort of projects. And so just reaching out to them, and a lot of them know who we are just on the residential side. And so a lot of times they're totally happy with oh sure, I'll send you plans to bid this or that. And just making it more of a focal point to start getting those projects, because it's a different you have to look at them different because the productions are different than they are on the residential side. The pricing structure is a lot different. Just getting more in tune with that, um, and just making it more of a priority. I mean, we're so busy on that, which is great on what we do. I haven't found like a necessity for really pushing hard to go that route. But with every single business, if you don't grow, you die.
Yeah,
And we're pretty capped out, in my opinion, with what we can do on the residential side. Do a lot of work in Orange County. So to keep growing, that was one of my thoughts was, okay, I got to start pushing the commercial side.
yeah. Is scaling outside of California, does that just add a level of difficulty that isn't
It's hard.
necessary?
The hard thing is because it's so specific and so specialized what we do, you almost are pretty much building a brand new company somewhere else. Even like in LA, you got to hire people that live in the cities that you're going to be working in. Um, Unless they're doing this exact sort of work, I can't go get a commercial concrete contractor or a commercial concrete forms carpenter and have them come work on these jobs. They wouldn't understand some of the stuff that they're supposed to build. It's completely different.
Mm,
So that's kind of always been like a little bit of a big hurdle. Because I have a lot of clients who are very large um, contractors in Los Angeles, like Bel Air, Beverly Hills, like the Bird Streets, like big properties that we could do really well up there, but I just don't have the resources, like the I don't have the people up there. So that's kind of the hurdle there. And out of state, it would be the same sort of thing. It wouldn't be probably as difficult. That sounds crazy, just because going out of state, the foundations are usually a lot of it's flat terrains, a little more simple. California, the codes are stricter with the earthquakes and the geography in Orange County is, a lot of hills. It's really rocky towards the coast, which you wouldn't expect. And you got the salt water and all that stuff. So it probably wouldn't be as difficult out of state. Still a hurdle nonetheless. It's almost like, you know, starting a brand new company.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I got you. I got you. Well, cool. We got getting an office in San Diego and LA on the custom home side, get a strong presence in Orange County for multifamily and commercial. You want to watch your kids flourish and grow, then maintain your health and sense of being present.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think that'd be a pretty good, that'd be some good goals if I was able to attain those.
Gotcha, gotcha. What are the top 1 to 2 skills that you need to develop right now to make some of these dreams and goals come true?
Um,
Which is interesting because I bet you're a man of many skills.
oh, thank you. I think it would be definitely being being more proactive with those goals and making it more of a I guess more action, less thought.
Hmm.
If that makes sense. Sometimes I'll overthink a little bit rather than just making a decisive decision on big items. And I'm always big on just making a decision. When you're wavering, you just got to make a call.
Yeah.
And you got to stand behind it. That way, like your employees, your team members uphold what you're doing. They're not like, oh, Ryan's a little unsure. Like, should I be unsure? You want them to buy in. So I think on that same token, like it just has come a point where I'm like, okay, we're gonna go to San Diego in, you know, 9 months. And so here's what I'm gonna start doing today. So I think just short benchmarks and then just accountability
Yeah.
moving towards that goal um, would be something I would welcome. It'd be something I would need little help with. I could some improvements, I should say.
Okay. What
Not
are
just not just like letting the days and weeks pass and just like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe we'll start doing it. Let's make a decision, you
what are
know.
2 decisions you need to make right now that would really push your life forward and your company forward?
Uh I guess right now would be are we going to make a presence in the commercial market? That's the that right there is the one that to me is the easiest to answer um right now because it's like I have one that we're probably going to be doing. So that's like right down the street here in Newport Beach. So it couldn't be more of a perfect opportunity to like really settle in on it and then like build some momentum. So I think that would be the main one right there
So did you
versus like,
did you just make that decision or is it still like up in the air?
no, it's been something that I've always kind of floated around. I just got confirmation from something we bid because I would bid them here and there if it was something local, and it's got confirmation that we're kind of like looking good for it. So now I'm like, okay, I think we just need to make a move here. But it's kind of a no brainer, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think yeah, that's the answer to your question.
There we go. Sounds like you just
Yeah,
committed right here on this podcast.
that's it. That's it.
There we go. Is there another decision that you could also make that would move the company forward? or yourself, your personal life too. It can be a personal decision if you're wavering there.
Um, I mean, it's more personal, but it's like such a small little thing. Do I start uh, jujitsu or not? Sometimes about my kids have done it, and I want to do it. I did about 6 months, the privates, and I just got banged up a little bit, but I love the methodology behind it. It's a thinker sport. It's so cool,
Yeah.
so cool. But I don't feel like getting a blown out knee either because I'm too active.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people I know that do it, they get banged up pretty good.
Yeah.
So the risk reward, all if it's worth it, you know.
I got you. I got you. What would 85-year-old you say about doing jujitsu consistently right now?
Oh God, that's actually that puts it in a good little perspective. Why'd you do that? Well, well, yeah, pretty much like how beat up I am. You know what I mean? My knees, my shoulders, and this and that. I could definitely see that. Like, thanks a lot, you know.
That's hilarious. That's
I
hilarious.
know.
Maybe you have your answer there too, then.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Well, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so we got being more proactive with those goals, more action, less thought. Any other
Yeah.
skills you want to chat about or leaving it there?
I think that's for sure it. Yeah, on those I could think of.
Gotcha. And what are the highest impact daily actions that are going to tick the needle forward towards these dreams and goals?
It's definitely just to maintain the accountability to myself. Um, that's something I'm actually is one of my things. I'm a very regimented person, very structured. Like my days all start the night prior. Like I literally like tonight I'll go through on my calendar for tomorrow, like the stuff I didn't get done today, my tasks, that sort of thing on my calendar, and even lunches on there. As dumb as that sounds,
Yeah.
because I got so many different things going on, so many balls in the air. If I don't prioritize my time, like it's gonna vanish. So I always want to, have my day planned how I want my day planned, not reacting to this, that, or the other thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people just they're reacting all day and they get nothing done and they're frantic. So that being said, I think just maintaining the discipline with the end goal of like, hey, the commercial projects we're going to attain, start getting set up with the different commercial subcontractors, general contractors, who those players are, where they're at, where they have coming up, getting some introductions, some lunches on the books, things like that, and just following up, benchmarks, just daily, weekly.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
What character trait do you most need to develop right now to make this dream life come true?
Oh, character trait. That's a good question.
Yeah. You sound
Hmm.
like you also have a lot of character traits you've already developed, so it might be a tougher question for you, but
Yeah, I'm definitely sort of lacking probably something there, but it just goes back to that same one I already mentioned. Indecisive with certain big decisions, trying to overthink it too much because sometimes you're not going to know. You just got to just make a move.
yeah.
I always feel like there's three minds: the heart, the gut, and the stomach. Our heart, the gut, and the brain. So if all three are pointing in a certain direction, hopefully they are, then there's your decision. You know, so 2 out of 3 still kind of have an idea. Yeah, so I think I just you just got to do that. Listen to your innate instincts.
I love it. Decisiveness with big decisions, instincts.
Yes.
Well, if there are one or two people you can meet right now, and this could be a specific person or a type of person, and they'd really help you take that next step towards your dreams and goals, who would they be and how would they help you?
Anyone that can meet?
Any one or two people or type of people.
Um, and probably, you know what? Probably Mark Cuban. He'd be one of them.
Mark
I
Cuban.
read his I read his book a few years ago. So I never liked him as a Laker fan. As a Laker fan, I hated him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I read his book, and I think it's called The Sport of Business. And he's just a regular guy, good guy, but extremely business savvy. And so I'd love to kind of hear his like take on growing and scaling a construction company. Different than his software stuff, but still a lot of the same applies in a different aspect. So that would be pretty cool. And plus, with him, it'd be over like probably a steak dinner, some cocktails or something.
Yeah. I love it. Based on his book, what advice do you think he'd give you right now?
Mm. He'd probably tell me what I kind of already know. Like you gotta hire in the cities if I'm going out of the area, like hire get your management in order. A lot of stuff I would already know, but I think that one of the main things that I would look for him is on the financial side. He's a numbers guy.
Yeah.
Like what sort of debt and that sort of thing, what that would look like to take on for having a business starting out. What sort of risk, comfort should I be willing to take? Say I am risk averse, but how much is too much? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think that would be a big one. Throw to him or someone like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a way you could do it without debt, or would you basically have to take on debt to start hiring in these cities?
And just so you can do it without it. Yeah, we try to run pretty lean, real lean. But over time, because people pay every 90 days, so you're playing that game.
Yeah.
While our bills are still coming every week. So it there's a cost obviously there, but just having a cushion, so to speak,
Mm,
to to know is going to weather the storm, the initial storm would be a good feeling.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, right off the ground though, I mean, it just wouldn't need it. But as it starts growing, I'm sure we would.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah,
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'd be curious what he would say on that too.
yeah, a little different than his normal cup of tea, but he would have some good input, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure he would. He's such a beast.
He is.
Such a
He
beast.
totally is.
Awesome. Well,
Just
now we got
wrong.
our. Oh, what's up?
I was just saying, just wrong team.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Well, what is your favorite book, movie, or podcast? Pick one.
Oh, let's see. Uh, it's probably the book. It's probably the book I'm reading right now. How to win friends and influence people.
Oh, such a good book.
Great book, isn't it?
Yes.
It and I've heard about it for so long, and I'm like, okay, it can't be that good. No, it really is,
It is. Yeah.
and a lot of it's I don't want to say it's common sense, but it kind of is. But then you
It
see
is.
like they dig into the details of why and how like psychologically it works, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes total sense,
Yeah.
completely. And
Yeah.
so I've really started like seeing myself use some of those skills and that they're alluding to in the book, just personally, professionally, and they work,
Hmm.
you know. It's so that's a big one. Recently, I'm like, yeah, gotta read that. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And what I found, I think Alex Hormozy said this. He was like, everybody who's like so much bigger than you, so much better than you, like the multimillionaires, the billionaires, they do the really basic stuff extremely well and extremely
Right,
consistently. And he was talking about that. And I was like, a lot of life really is common sense. Like when you see a company scale and they scale through a cold calling um a kind of a cold calling function. It's like you may be doing 200 cold calls a day and you're by yourself. And you're like, how are they getting so much more business? And it's like, well, maybe they're doing 8,000 cold calls a day because they have 40
right,
people doing 200 a day. And that compounded just leaves you in the dust.
totally.
So just
No,
how
it's
a lot of
true.
life is common sense, but we miss it. We still miss it, even though it's common.
It is, and it's like a lot of what makes people successful. It's simple, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard because it's the reps and the consistency of continually doing the same things over and over.
Yep.
But it's a lot of it's just simple stuff that anyone can do, but most stop or give up.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
but, but I think that totally is true though.
Yeah. What's one way you like to take care of yourself?
I kind of lived to being a morning guy.
Hmm.
I'm up every day, 3:30, 4 in the morning,
What time you go?
7 days a week. So every day, 7 days a week.
What time you go to sleep?
Oh gosh, usually 10.
Oof.
Not not really enough, but I know. So I get up, I'll train, I'll work out, do some a little bit of reading emails, work stuff, all before the kids get up and their day starts and my phone starts ringing and I start getting interrupted. So it's kind of my sanctuary where I can reduce my stress, improve myself, and then the old like put my mask on first sort of thing. I'm good. I'm ready for the day, and it always sets me up in a positive mindset too.
Yeah,
So it's become like just that's my thing. Is I'm up and out early, and I absolutely love it. Yeah, a
that's
lot of people
epic.
think a lot of people think I'm crazy, but like
I am one
I
of
would
them.
never trade a night for the morning. No way.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. We'll go to sleep at like 9:30, 10. We'll get up at 5:30, and we're still tired at 5:30.
I know.
So the fact that you get up at 3:34 is just wild to me, going to sleep at the same time.
I know. I know. Yeah, it turned into that when my kids started getting busier and busier. It used to be like 5, and it was like 4:30 and 4, so I can get more because I have to get ready for school
Hmm.
earlier and earlier as they get older. I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm
I,
like, God, now I'm going to sleep in the taxis are still driving people around from bars, are waking up.
yep. Absolutely. That's funny. Well, what is one action step you can take right now or continue to take if you're already doing it to meet and get that conversation with Mark Cuban?
Um, it's funny. I had tried to reach out to him a few years ago. I don't even know who I would get a hold of to try to get access to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a guy like that, geez, I'm sure I could get it to somebody, but he must get God knows how many inquiries all the time.
Oh yeah.
I would
Yeah.
think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's worth a shot though.
Try sending him a really personalized gift. Like do some research or
Oh,
have
there you go.
have a secretary do some research and send him just a super personalized gift that like will either bring tears to his eyes or his family's eyes, and I bet you'll get a conversation with him.
That's not a bad idea. That's a good idea.
You got to dig back to when he was like 24 on the come up of his entrepreneurial journey and like
Yeah,
from something back then.
I'll find something. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I'm digging that. Good tip.
of course, of course. Had a couple people. One dude runs a gifting company. Maybe you can just hit this guy up. I'll try to find the podcast episode later tonight and send it to you.
Okay.
But he runs a
Yeah, do
gifting
that.
company, and he actually says I can get you an introduction to anybody through his gifting campaign and his gifting sequence. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
his gifting
Yeah,
company
shoot
might.
that over.
I will. I will.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Of course, of course. We got our final series of questions now. We got about 9 minutes, so we're gonna run through these.
Okay.
And if you don't want to answer them, feel free to say I pass because they do get personal.
Okay.
What is one limiting belief that continues to pop up in your life, if any?
I don't think I have any.
Yep. You're the third person who has come on the show who has been able to say that, and I thought you were going to be one of
Oh, really?
them.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. You could just kind of tell, like because we all encounter them at some point in our life, and you either are in the stage of conquering them, you're bowing down to them, or you have conquered them.
Oh,
And
right.
I feel like
Right.
people at kind of top echelon of society who are like running these bigger companies, they're in charge of people, accountability, discipline, all that good stuff. You had to conquer some limiting beliefs at some point.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they just don't
Makes
mess with
sense.
me no more. But yeah, yeah. There was another guy. He was like, you know, I don't think I have any. I've just called BS so many times on myself. I just don't even listen to it. So maybe I have them, but they just have no power over me.
Oh,
Is
that's funny.
what he was saying because he was like, yeah, I've done like ultra marathons and stuff. He was like a body hacker.
Oh, right.
Yep, yep. And so
That's
cool,
funny.
cool guy. Yep. Well, that takes out like five of the next questions I was going to ask you
Oh,
because they were all going to be about limiting beliefs.
oh no. Sorry.
All good though. All good. We can uh ask you this one last question. What is your favorite belief about yourself?
Um, it would definitely probably be my consistency and structure. Like I'm just consistent, regimen, like the whole thing. It's like I just it's the same thing. I'm so like scheduled and regimented,
Yeah.
like pretty military-esque.
Yeah.
Um, maybe almost too much, but I've found that friends of mine, other people that are successful in whatever they do, they're the same way.
Yep.
A lot of the same traits. So that's something some people I think you either have or you don't. You can definitely learn it, but it's not, I think it's probably tough for people to learn it,
You gotta
you
die.
know?
You gotta die to a part of yourself to really learn it. Like
I would think so.
you either have
Yeah,
it or you don't. And if you don't, you're gonna have to die to some part of you that is stopping you from having it.
crypto, I agree. But yeah, so that's something I feel like I'm blessed with
Yeah.
the ability to just always maintain the same consistency and be super regimented and like structured.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It works.
Well, awesome. Ryan, that's all we got for you, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. It's
Of
fun.
course. Yeah. And where can people reach out to you if they want to, know more or find your company,
Sure.
or find more out about you?
Yeah, Instagram, I'm at Ryan Eckadal, and the company is at Eckadal Concrete. You can see a little bit about myself, the business, what we do. And then you ever building out here in Orange County, Eckadal Concrete, give me a buzz.
There we go. If you guys are listening to this and you loved what Ryan had to say, make sure to check him out. All the links to do so will be down in the show notes. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you on the next one. And on that note, we're out.